As I walk past the living room, I overhear the low rasp of Flynn's voice, his tone serious. And then that fucker shoved me. You said he was pulling this shit at the mall, too?
Mm-hmm. I talked to Chase if you wanted more details.
To think, he just had to pick this day of all days to fucking snap. Flynn rubs the tip of his snout. His slitted eyes narrowed until they spot me. Then he just looks back to Jenna. That really is his name.
Yeah.
Let's call Malco now.
Right.
Flynn begins to dial for the sheriff. Jenna looks towards the door, then to me.
We'll talk later, Chase, okay? If you want, of course.
I pause, having been about to head upstairs. Oh, yeah, sure thing. She smiles at me, despite everything. Oh, hey! I didn't witness any of this.
Yeah, I've been up here for hours.
I'm seconds from discovering the fleshlight and not knowing what it is. Is it a fun water gun?
Is it an arm sleeve?
Look at this hand warmer I found.
Oh, God.
TJ rises up from Carl's computer chair, clearly forcing a smile as he sees me. He's clutching his cell phone to his chest. TJ? Yeah? Are you okay? No?
Oh, baby TJ.
TJ sinks back into the chair. Perking a brow, I move one of Carl's console gaming chairs over towards the computer area. TJ slides his cell phone back into his pocket. I'm worried about Carl. We all are. We're calling the police, and hopefully they can help us, yeah? I know, it's just... that image on the phone, you know? That picture Carl took? Yeah, it's, spooky. Spooky doesn't begin to describe my initial thoughts regarding it, but this is TJ I'm speaking to, so... gentle words and all. Yeah. One of his canines sinks into his lower lip. The link's chewing on it nervously. Maybe it's a screenshot of something he had on his monitor? We could check his history and recent documents to make sure.
No.
Check Carl's browser history.
Don't do that to poor Carl.
Oh, look, it's Fox Stallion. Have you already checked all that? His face flashes with a guilty expression. No, there's a password required to log in. Oh yeah, the new version of these operating systems make you log in with your email account. It's dumb. I pause, thinking for a moment, then scoot a little closer to the keyboard. May I? TJ blinks, it taking him a second to understand. Oh, yeah, sure. He rolls to the
Dick
side.
Girlfriend 69420 blaze it.
Horse cock goth GF. It's really stupid. He rolls to the side and I fold the keyboard closer to me. Clicking the mouse brings up the generic login window. Username
Blaze
Ice.
Oh my god.
Visible. When we were younger, Carl and I used to play a lot of free-to-play MMO type games. I convinced him to give me his password once, saying that I'd XP grind for him while he was on vacation with his parents. In reality, asshole me sent his rare party hat item to my character. I tried to tell him the game devs deleted the item from the game, but I don't think he believed me. God, I was a shitty 10-year-old. Are you a better 20-year-old? Oh, hey, that worked. Yep. Kind of surprised he's still using the same old password, but kinda not at the same time.
What was it?
We'll never know. Carl isn't one much for change, right? Anyway, what should we look through first? Are you about to look through Carl's browser history in front of TJ?
It's basically like what happened to...
We already know there's a fleshlight in one of these cupboards right here. It's right here.
That's like Leo and that 10-year-old nephew that he had finding his porn on his computer. It's like the same level.
We're about to become a hypocrite. TJ scoots closer, his chin practically on my shoulder.
Oh, how cute.
I have to shift my head some so those whiskers don't brush my cheek. His messenger, I guess? Good dragon! Click here for your fantasy at Good Dragon. Oh my god. Flynn's last name is Moore?
Stranger Things 2. Jesus was... Wait.
Jesus was a
skunk?
Was a skunk. Halashaka Bra. James Thunderland, Meme Meister 1996, Kentucky Zero, Dayvale. Sukoshi Shika. Leo. Pueblo Otter Co. 2016. Is our username now Pueblo Otter Co?
Well, I think like when you have like
one message from Flynn.
It might be like a
Oh, Trap Skirt, Lucha Liche, and Paul Berg the Memer. Those are the online people up top.
Walberg the
Why is
Memer.
There's an ad for Good Dragon in the middle? What instant messenger? Who used instant messengers in 2013? Was that when this was? 2013, 2014 something, I think?
I don't fucking... You're asking the wrong person, because I didn't do internet stuff.
I'm just thinking, like, I think I was just clarifying, like, I think we established when this was. I think it was, like, 2013-ish.
Yeah.
I'm just, like... I'm trying to think of what in it... Did people use AOL or Yahoo still? Like, I don't...
my email's AOL. Fuck you.
Not the email, the browser,
okay.
It's a messenger.
I don't know if they even have that.
Like, I don't... I feel like I stopped using any kind of instant messenger in, like, 2004. Like, a decade earlier.
I remember Facebook Messenger, but...
that's the thing, is, like, there's Facebook Messenger, and also everyone just, like, smartphones are so prevalent that people would just message each other on their phones.
Yeah.
So, like, there's not a lot of use for these things.
Well, back in, like, I want to say, okay, it's like...
I'm trying to remember what things were like before. I think I might just skip this entire concept because I didn't have that many online friends, maybe.
Well, no, okay,
in that middle period.
Because
nowadays we use Discord. I say, literally just conjured a toaster message by gesturing at it. But like now we use Discord.
So 2007. I'm trying to remember where it was. 2007. I remember I was like in like the 8th grade. I'm aging myself, and I had to use the text. Like the thing where you text by pushing the numbers through, like all the times, you know, like basically like A and B.
Yeah, just normal text messages, but you had to press the numbers a lot.
Yeah, because so that cost money. So I remember that time everyone was using Facebook Messenger and like messengers when they got home from school because you don't want to use your fucking text minutes because there used to be a time where you had to pay per text message, everyone. In case you're a little kid. But like, if you're a little kid, why are you watching this smut, huh? But anyways, yes, I remember that being a time where people still use messengers. But I feel like relatively soon after that, they had like unlimited plans and then smartphones came out. When did smartphones come out? Because I had a flip phone that had me paying for text messages, and I want to say 2007.
Yeah, my memory of iPhones always points at like 2006 or 2005.
But I think people didn't have them all the time.
It was like around the time that 360 came out.
Well, I'll look that shit up.
Yeah, I definitely didn't have one. I didn't have
one right away.
I didn't have a cell phone at all when I was like a senior. And then one day I didn't go home when I was supposed to, and they fucking flipped out. And then suddenly I had a cell phone the next week. It was funny.
Don't give me... Okay. Like, oh, 1992. I'm like, I'm not talking about that one. iPhone was 2007.
Okay.
So,
the best year of video
games. So literally when the iPhone
ever.
came out, I was doing the text, the boop, 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 see, boop, 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 like, whatever you want to call that type of texting.
But this is like 6 years later. The world changed. People went to jail, then came back out, and everyone was staring at rectangles.
So...
Dystopia.
Smartphones in this era.
Good dragon, Jesus Christ.
That's pretty cute. Nokia Lumia. Samsung Galaxy. Yeah, so people had smartphones. LG G2.
Oh, definitely by now.
Yeah, I'm looking at 2013. That's funny.
Because 2013 is the year I graduated college. I absolutely had a smartphone by then.
It's really funny because it lists the LG G2. I had that phone like 5 years ago. So I had it way after the fact.
Is it the one that broke?
Yeah, so yeah, that's the one that broke. I was being swung around in a Target parking lot by the arms, and my phone flung out of my pocket.
Out of your pocket and got fucking demolished
by the concrete.
Huh. I don't recognize most of these names. I see you and me. Okay, so he's Pueblo Otter. He changed his username to match where he went?
Well, that's what I'm
did
saying.
he get his account
Sometimes they make you have like a school email, school messenger thingy, you know? Their college thing. I don't know.
Maybe Pueblo Otter, Colorado 2016?
Oh, maybe. They're not fucking Colorado.
Is 2016 his graduating year?
No, because he's not graduated yet.
Yeah, but like class of 2016 in the future.
But what if you fuck up?
That's bad news. We don't, well, like one, yeah, I just see CO and I'm like, it wouldn't be like company, right? So CO is Colorado, isn't it? But they otherwise don't, but they don't normally mention states. We don't know where he goes to school.
Oh yeah, because
we just know it's somewhere else.
Yeah, so probably it's Colorado.
Like hours away.
Yeah, we're definitely not in Colorado here, where his is not Colorado.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I see you and me on here. Most of these others outside of our group are his online friends. It's good to know he's still being social and meeting people after we left. Yep.
Oh.
Well, besides the name of the people in our group, these look to be all online people. I'd played Vox Disparos multiplayer with Carl and that Lucha Lecha guy before. Lucha Lecha guy. He lives on the other side of the planet, practically. I wonder if he still talks to Heather. I hope not. There's a brief silence. Flynn messaged him earlier, though. I see a 1 next to his name. But I don't think he wants us reading that. He didn't want anyone looking at Carl's phone after he and Jenna were looking through it.
Yeah, see?
I think Flynn might have been venting to Carl about what happened at the river pretty hard-like. TJ's face briefly scrunches as if flinching in response to that information. I move to click on Flynn's name, but TJ stops me. No! Blinking, I look over toward a wide-eyed TJ, who seems to now be recoiling from his own abrupt interruption. What? Sorry. I just think we shouldn't pry into that. If he didn't want us to see it...
And I think it's really going to affect your guys' day, so let's not do that.
Yeah. To be honest, Flynn being so cagey about his contact with Carl just makes me more curious. However, if what little stuff Flynn said to TJ to his face was enough to leave him shaken and distraught, I can't imagine what seeing the stuff he didn't say would do. Alright. I scoot back to the side a little, letting TJ take the mouse. He still looks pretty guilty for snapping at me. Let's check his browser history. Never do this to someone. Okay. TJ moves the cursor down to the star-like symbol on the taskbar. Oh boy. Alright, let's just lean in.
Yeah, hold on.
Let's just lean in. Weed legal in my state movement. www.fightwithus.
No, you're talking about
Fruit?
no, Sticky Icky in the Afterglow. Sticky Icky's the type of weed. Best strands to look for.
No, I'm trying to tell what the website is. It's like Fight With Us Fruit.
Fight with us for it.
For it? For it? I can't tell if it's an O or U. It's a weird looking. Flesh Affinity / Blaze Ice. It's Fur Affinity. But he's a fleshy.
Fuda Factory.
Fuda Factory.
Futanari.
He has a Flesh Affinity account, which means that they like fantasize about humans because they're furries. It's Fur Affinity.
That's gross. I don't
That's
like that.
that's how the URL works. That's how the URL is. It'd be furaffinity.net/user/username. So his username on Flesh Affinity is Blaze Ice.
Search bar entry. I'm an idiot.
I'm an idiot. Spelled strangely. Crank powered. Crankpowered.org/crank/tag/roleplaying /retro/cards.
I like stay-at-home jobs.
There's a store at Crank Powered. There's a spring sale at Crank Powered. You got a discount fleshlight. Or some other thing coming in. He's looking up MMO porn. Stay-at-home jobs just in the middle of all of his Crank Powered searches.
Wait, why do you think Crank Powered's a porn site?
Because it's called Crank Powered.
I just thought it was like a video game site.
Cranking it is a metaphor, is a term for jacking it.
I guess, but check out
his search terms are. Let's see.
Check out cart retro role playing. His eyes.
Yeah. No, probably it does seem.
Okay.
It might be iBuyPower. A computer part. Yeah, it might be a PC thing.
And there's also cart and VR.
Yeah, it is VR, MMO, retro. Yeah. It's a regular, boring spring sale.
Instead of rotten tomatoes, they have moldy cucumbers. And it's
Moldy cumbers.
Super. Critic consensus rating 39% like.
Why is all of that in the... Like, would that all show up in the bar? Patent, print, and design that biz. Oh, that's the place that he did a job interview for last time.
It's application.
Claws of Fury, Tensions of Talon Let's Play.
Watches Let's Play.
He watches Let's Plays. What a loser.
Damn.
Imagine having a Fur Affinity account and watching Let's Plays. Couldn't be
yeah,
me.
Who does
with a stay-at-home job.
At least you don't go by Blaze Ice, okay? Because
Blaze Ice. You completely lost your headphones.
Oh yeah.
They've escaped.
I was too busy looking at his search history. I was very into it.
Fuda Factory tagged favorites.
I knew he liked Futanari.
He said he did.
I know, but
huh. Okay.
Hentai specifically.
Weed, hauntings. Hauntings?
Yeah, because
Hauntings of the Dead. Yeah, that was a quick one. Southwestern Gothic. Porn, video games, movie reviews, job searching stuff, and Let's Plays. I guess pretty par for the course with regards to Carl. Nothing too unusual, but TJ moves the cursor to the Futa Factory link.
TJ, no! TJ, no!
I gently yet assertively place my paw on TJ's own and move the cursor elsewhere. It's a store for special couches. Good save. He'll never get it. Isn't it called a futon? No. Good save. Look, the browsing history stops right before midnight. And the picture on Carl's phone was taken from around that time, right? Yeah. That's really weird. It is. Let's keep looking. Try recent files.
Getting dangerous.
It's all Fuda Factory. 2J nods, closing the browser history and hesitating for a moment before clicking the most recent file titled carl.doc. It's named Carl?
His resume!
Oh!
I gotta lean in again.
Yeah, University of Pueblo. Pueblo South.
Only for 1 year.
South what? Oh, some coursework. I thought it said South something. 2012 2013. Okay, so we have better dating, yeah.
Like I mentioned, pay is not an issue for me in his objective. Because he's rich. Having completed my high school diploma, I seek to find an adequate working location that is suited to my skill set. Pay is not an issue for me.
That is so hard to read. I don't think there's any kind of zoom function. I don't think there's any way to look at it better. Responsible for bagging groceries at the grocery store.
And ensuring customer satisfaction in store. Supplemental duties such as basic janitorial and stocking work was...
Flynn is one of his references.
Was also performed. References include Flynn and...
Because Flynn works at the city hall, so he's a good reference on paper. Look at that. And then some other people we don't know, I think.
Auto maintenance person is somebody who worked at his grocery store job.
Because he's the Echo City clerk. He's got... That's interesting. It's interesting to have to fill out documents about characters to, like, flesh them out like this. Like, you have to, like, think about what would go on it and
I think
expand the world a bit.
It's fun having stuff like this to look at because, I mean, instead of just looking at, like, static characters all the time, it's cool having, like, things like the phone and, like, the laptop to kind of break up the monotony a little bit.
Yeah. A resume. Looks like it. I remember the Easy Mart. I'm still a little upset that it shut down. I mean, it's no surprise why, TJ.
It's because Carl worked there and he sucked.
Yeah. It was just nice to have local food back when we were kids. The convenience store just isn't the same. The dietary choices available to people here are really limited, unless they drive all the way to Peyton.
Oh, they live in a food desert.
A food desert, I think it's called.
Oh my fucking god. That's what I was right about to say. Yeah, no fresh produce for long periods of time, resulting in people eating fast food and stuff at convenience stores and having
when you
really
hear
bad
about places
diets.
where the only green thing you can buy is the lettuce and a Big Mac.
Yep.
That's a quote from something. I can't remember what.
Well, that's helpful.
Somebody knows. Leave a comment in the web zone if you pizza roll.
In the
Plus, it was nice to see Carl there working. He seemed to enjoy that place. Because he got to slack off the whole time and there were barely any customers. But I get what you're saying. His anxiety about being around people wasn't nearly as bad back then. TJ nods, smiling sadly. I bet Jenna could help him. You know, she's not actually training to be a psychologist, right? Her studies are more neural med techy. Oh, I know. She's a really good listener, though.
Oh.
I nod. It's her big ears.
All the better to hear you with.
Chase! I snicker. TJ shaking his head and closing the resume. He moves to open the next document on the list titled F space... Facebook maybe? 129768 JPEG.
No, it's fuck space.
I could go either way where I'm like, is this a social media download or is this a generically named E621 image? Look at them. It's so cute. What the fuck?
Is that supposed to be Leo and Chase?
I don't think so. Maybe it's a shitty children's drawing one of them made a long time ago.
I don't think it looks like it was made on the computer, so I don't think it was.
They could have drawn it on the computer.
Oh, that's
I used
true.
to draw on MS Paint when I was in elementary school. It looks like MS Paint. This music.
It's supposed to be sentimental.
Look at this photograph.
Graph.
What the? Aww. That's my old profile picture I drew for computer class back in 4th grade.
That's really cute.
Wow, really? It does look familiar, kinda. Yeah, I used it back when we all made social media accounts. My mom made me delete mine when I got home.
Yeah, because he's too kidnappable. TJ would definitely get in a van.
That was probably for the best. She probably shouldn't have left you at that party, though.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. There was a lot of drama about how that site made you pick your top 8 friends and you ranked them like that. It's MySpace. F space, MySpace, gotcha.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, on MySpace you had fucking top friends and the blog was daily. The daily blog thing that you could post was public and everyone could see that. But other than that, you left comments on people's profiles, so it was interesting because you'd make a dedicated web page with its own music and background and art and font choices and all that, and then people had to come to you to visit your page and comment on it and vice versa, and there wasn't a wall. It was Facebook didn't have an algorithm at first, but it always had the wall, this unified feed everyone would look at, like Twitter essentially. And before that, social media sites didn't have that. It was just a fundamentally different approach, and it was just a different structure, and it, if nothing else, avoids the current thing of constant political arguments about things, because people wouldn't see, oh, Kiki's running in her sleep.
My dog's running in her sleep. if I had a MySpace, I wasn't allowed to have one because my mom was too. Because I was also kidnappable, not out of my naivety, but because I was an adorable child. But
small and defeatable.
Now no one wants to kidnap me. But no, I'd name Kiki as my best friend. I'd give her own MySpace page.
Yeah, you had top friends. I forgot about
that's
that.
That's pretty fucked up, honestly.
Yeah, I didn't have enough friends for that to be a problem.
Well, I know, but if you have to pick a number
they
one
were just
and number
my
two,
real friends and then random people.
Yeah, but you have to rank them, don't you?
I don't know if they were ranked specifically so much as just like there was just a window that they were in and you chose who was in it. Essentially. Wow, MySpace. Okay. A lot of people were hurt and such. That sounds awful. And I think I remember some of it. Sydney didn't ever add me.
Sydney didn't like Carl or TJ?
Well, TJ's gaze shifts for a moment. I'm wondering why he has this saved, and why I was looking at it yesterday. Maybe spending time together again made him sentimental. I still watch some of the funny movies we made with your camera back then. Your voice used to crack so much. I feel the sting of embarrassment rise from my neck to my cheeks. Oh man, I need to delete those. No, don't! They're really good! As silly as they are, you were really good at making them. I grunt, waving dismissively. Just open the next file, TJ. I really like the one where you use that editing software to make a twin of yourself. I think the plot was that one of the twins was a detective and the other was a criminal, both trying to solve their father's murder.
That's kind of sick, actually.
And they had superpowers.
Oh, I don't know about that part.
I was more ambitious than I probably should have been with that project. TJ, just click the next one. Oh, alright, sorry. TJ clicks the next file labeled 09222. Oh, 2008 PNG. It's gonna be more memory stuff, I think, and not porn. Aww. Look at the old sprite that we saw from the Route 65.
Look at us before we have our dumb goatee.
Yeah, no goatee chase. Vague sympathetic look. Side-eye expression. That's from the trip we took to the reservation.
Yeah, he's looking over at Carl.
Back in, like, freshman year of high school? Jeez. Look at you two! You were so little! Carl was just getting his beard. I think we were both just getting used to high school at the time, and this was taken during Thanksgiving. It's surprising to see Carl smiling in a photo. Oh no, Flashbacks to the just weird school trips to Indian reservations.
I never
You never had those?
No, I never took a school trip to an Indian
Those are
reservation.
strange experiences, because just like, it's just that the idea that you barely understand what's happening, or the cultural context, or like just the various ways that this could be extremely iffy, and then so you can only look back at these memories in incredibly vague terms as an adult and be like, did I do anything wrong when I was there? What did the teacher sound like when they described things? Like, you just want to replay it in your head and be like, what was happening to that event? Like,
I've been to we took field trips to like Native American museums and like the Egyptian Museum, the Rosicrucian Museum, but like we never went to like just a reservation.
I swear I remember like a headband with like fake feathers in it and like getting an arrowhead and stuff like that, and like I'm just wondering, like looking back, like was any of this culturally sensitive, or was it all just really worrying?
I do remember.
I don't know how any of it went.
I do remember being a kid making those paper headbands with the feathers made of construction paper, and the little pilgrim's caps made of construction paper, and that being definitely iffy now. But I feel like
all the Native American Thanksgiving things
propaganda
you would make for celebration as a kid in elementary school, that are like the hand turkeys, and then you make the paper like the paper like Native American crowns and things like that are like I don't know what to think about any of this, especially since you're probably, back then they were mostly telling us that a fantasy version of it that was like sanitized for kids. Like, and then everybody got along, and we had celebrations together, and we definitely didn't mass do a genocide.
I think of this every once in a while, and it creeps across my heart because it's one of those things that makes me very upset. But like I remember I had this like nice it was like a book of like certain documents and just letters throughout history, and one of them is a letter to Stonewall Jackson, the guy on the $20 bill who's an asshole.
Andrew Jackson?
Thank you, Andrew Jackson. It was like basically it was a pleading from a Native American chieftain who had given with the letter, I don't exactly remember what, but it was a sacred item that had belonged to his father and grandfather and it was representative of his people. And he gave it to President Jackson in hopes that they would have a good relationship and that basically in earnest and being like genuine and hoping that like their relationship would be good. And basically he was like talking about how like they were willing to conform to like the ways of the white people and hope that they would be on good terms from then on. I was hoping that would be like a peace offering. And that letter was sent like a week before the Trail of Tears started. It was like very, very immediately before.
Well,
I gotta go like find that letter again because it was just in a book that I'd read once, and I always think about that because it was such like a heartfelt letter, genuinely asking for peace, and he had included with it something that was very cherished by him, and it was sent to the guy who made the decision to do the Trail of Tears that dragged, I think that group specifically, I think it was his group, and killed most of them.
Very like Anne Frank diary.
Yeah. But the letter was written not knowing that was going to happen yet.
Yeah.
And so it really hurts my feelings to have read it. They should read that in school.
Yeah. It's surprising to see Carl smiling in a photo. It's surprising to see something of Carl other than his butt in a photo. I wish you wouldn't send me those.
So he does just send those.
Just likes butts. So he's got a button. He's got a pocket butt.
Yeah, that's why.
There's only one item left on the list of files that were last opened yesterday. It's titled tocarl.png. Wait a second, that sounds familiar. TJ looks at me curiously, then clicks it. Aww. Look at all them. Look at the old Jenna Sprite.
Yeah, see, they didn't even use that one in Route 65.
No.
I wonder why.
I don't know. I wonder if it's even from the same generation as the other old Carl, or if it's a different one. Maybe it's even just the Jenna Sprite that they were using at the time that they made this part of the game. Maybe it wasn't even different at the time. I'm so curious about the complex build history. I want to just sit here and just download all of the builds in chronological order and be able to like flip through them. That'd be wild. Oh, wow. I emailed this to Carl months ago. Photos like this make me wish I went with you guys to Pueblo. Yeah, I wish you went too, TJ. I was actually trying to convince Carl to come back and try again with a different major. His parents really wanted him to stay away from art degrees, which is what he really wants to do. Isn't that what he ends up doing in the epilogue of the first route?
I think so.
Oh, they could have had 4 of them in the same college.
Yeah, bye Leo and Flynn. Bye Leo and Flynn.
Yeah.
Leave the baggage behind.
I keep forgetting Carl was there, so 4 of them were gone at the same time. TJ looks like he's about to respond, but his left ear perks. His attention shifts towards the doorway. I hear the sounds of thuds against the carpet out in the hall, and I half expect to see Carl around the corner and ask what the hell we're doing. Instead, Jenna steps in, her turquoise eyes already trained on the computer monitor. She moves closer, leaning over me and squinting at the screen.
I remember that. First year at Pueblo, your parents had just dropped you off. I was wondering what the heck you had on your chin at the time.
The first appearance of the goatee. Oh, yeah. You hadn't seen me with the facial scruff yet.
I never took you for the soul patch kind of guy, honestly.
Right, there's the word. It's a goatee.
No,
Never
it's
mind.
not. I mean, I feel like
Doesn't a goatee have a mustache?
No, it doesn't have to.
All around?
So, but goatee should cover the whole chin. I feel like a soul
Yeah.
patch is just like the weird dot right in the middle.
Yeah.
Which is more what I think it's akin to. Because I feel like a goatee should have more on the sides.
Ironically, the goat doesn't have a goatee.
Haha. See, I agree with it's kind of small for one, don't you think?
I frown, reactively reaching up and touching the scruff at the end of my chin.
Maybe he's trying to grow a goatee, but it just never grew in, right?
It was kind of weird, but now I'm used to seeing it. I frown deeper. TJ blinks, giving me an apologetic look. I try to refocus the conversation. Carl's missing.
He is. Why are you looking at old pictures?
These were the files he was looking at yesterday. And we checked his browser history. His online activity stopped just before midnight and didn't ever resume.
Anything unusual there?
I think he was looking to buy a futa. Not unusual.
Not unusual.
But thanks for being TJ. Jenna stands there, staring at TJ with a deadpan expression. After about 5 seconds, she looks at me expectantly. He means a futon. But you said... No, nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay, well, I'll be sure to let the sheriff know when she gets here.
And Flint's here. Surprise. And goodbye music.
Jump scare. Flint's
He
here.
eats it out of the air. Just sucks the music out of the sky. Have I shown you that really funny little comic thing where it's like expectation versus reality of Chase growing his goatee? Like it shows like everyone's reactions in his imagination of how he thought they'd all react to it, but in the reality version, everyone's just like everyone's different versions of like fucking like. I think like Jenna's like covering her muzzle and snickering.
Oh yeah,
like,
you did
like,
so. Yeah, I remember that now.
Like, that's a choice, and then like fucking Carl's just like, haha, what the fuck? But in both versions, expectation versus reality, Leo's just like he's just like ravish me. Leo just has completely unaffected by the presence or lack thereof of the goatee.
Yeah, no, he doesn't care either way.
It's just everyone dunks on him for the goatee, whereas in his imagination it would have been this incredible like coming of age, like he's a man now facial scruff. Flynn steps in the room besides Jenna. Usually the Gila has a bit of a case of resting bitch face, but right now he looks downright sour. Alright, let's figure out who's going to look where. Wolf Boy made the decision to go check the roads Elizabeth through Danica. Chase, you've got Margaret Lane through Tetanus Alley, Jasmine Street. I'm giving you more since you've got a car. Did they name her after the street she lived on? Is that what her name was?
I don't remember if it was spelled like that. It might have been, because I remember it was something obnoxious.
Yeah, Jasmine was spelled that way. Did they name her after the fucking street?
That sucks.
Because
Tetanus Alley.
Yeah.
Is the other nickname for it.
Yeah. I'll take Gretchen Way through the beginning part of Route 65 on my truck. TJ, you like hiking? We need to check around the hills and old nature trails around here. All the way down to the lake. He's gonna get eaten.
So you make him go in the fucking forest in the dark by himself? I mean, honestly, all you guys splitting
We're
up
sending
kind of...
TJ into the nature walks when there's a monster out there that we don't know about. And he's gonna be near the mine potentially, and they want him to go to the lake, the trauma center.
Well, and then all the I don't know what Flynn thinks of that phone picture, but I mean, just looking at the phone picture makes me think you guys shouldn't split up.
His plan is also so inherently fuck TJ.
Yeah.
TJ stiffens, and the feeling in the room seems to cool drastically.
Only if you're comfortable doing that, okay? We just want to be thorough.
I'm fine. I'll be fine. I just want Carl to be okay. Jenna nods, offering TJ a reassuring smile.
Just text me while you're out. I'll most likely be free since I'll be keeping watch here at the house.
TJ smiles back sheepishly. Okay. Before you all scat off to your respective places, I found some weird shit in the basement. Flynn holds up his fingers, there being some white, chalky substance around them. At the entrance of the crawl space, there was a bunch of hoof prints, dents in the wall, and plaster everywhere. Like Carl was headbutting the damn thing. There's nothing I can see in there, though. My theory is that Jeremy gave him bad weed, laced with some shit, and now Carl's on a real bad trip. Which is why I need you to talk to Jeremy when you get to Jasmine Chase.
Yeah,
oh,
that is. But that is where they live then, because if Jeremy's on Jasmine, then
they named her after the street that's also known as Tetanus Alley. Yeah, I would change my name too.
Yeah, me too.
Jesus Christ, we on our hypothetical list of things she might be named after that would make her want to change her name. That didn't even rank. Like we didn't even register that idea.
I mean,
that's overtly dumb.
I wouldn't think of parents naming their kids after, like, a street, let alone the street they currently live on, let alone a crappy street you currently live on.
Yeah.
Like, it's like naming your kid like Rodeo.
Like you were just done with having children at that point, huh? When you got your third or fourth one.
You're like, you look out the window and you see the street sign, like, Jasmine.
And
good thing they didn't see a stop sign.
Shut up, Jasmine. Take care of your brother, desk lamp. He looks sidelong towards Jenna. Jasmine Street, I mean. I feel a chill crawl up my spine. Jeremy, and especially his friends, made my life hell during most of my childhood, especially after the lake incident. All of them were native inhabitants of Jasmine Street. If it wasn't for Leo stepping in, things would have been even worse.
You can text me too, Chase.
She seems to have read the look on my face. I swallow and try to look casual. Okay. Flynn rolls his eyes so hard I can't see his pupils for a moment. Pausing, I remember something. I saw Leo get into an argument with Duke outside the house earlier. Duke kept pointing at it and was saying something to him. Whatever Duke said, it was enough for Leo to push him to the ground and drive off.
Knowing Leo's minimum threshold for violent turns, probably hello.
Flynn seems to soften a bit at that comment, looking sidelong to hide his smirk before returning to his more hardened expression.
But in seriousness, that is concerning. I'll also relay that information to Sheriff Malco when she gets here.
I'll text Leo and try to figure out what he wanted.
Good plan.
Flynn immediately heads out without another word. TJ hesitates a little, fidgeting with something on the computer, but gets up and leaves as well. I'm about to follow suit, but Jenna stops me, her paw on my shoulder.
Hey, if Jeremy asks about me, you don't need to lie and say I'm not here or anything, okay?
Oh. Yeah, I understand. She lowers her paw, recrossing her arms over her chest. We'll talk later, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm lingering to the point of awkwardness now.
Good luck.
You too. With a clearing of my throat, I shuffle my way out. Out into the world. This is a very different visual too.
This is like...
It looks melted.
It's blurry, but also, like, it seems very color altered.
Yeah. Like a corrupted photo or something. Very strange. How do you like the piss sky this time of day?
The noontime piss sky.
No. I take the bend out of Mary Drive, trying to squint through the dust kicked up by my vehicle past the sagebrush ahead.
We got here at 2, or we got at Carl's house at 2.
Yeah.
I wonder what time it is now. I'm just thinking about when it gets dark for us looking for Carl.
Yeah, what time of day is it? Year is it?
Time of year is it?
Summer, spring, or spring break?
Yeah, it's spring break.
Spring break. Spring break happens during...
Spring.
I mean, what month?
Usually in April, because does it have to do with Easter?
Maybe. I haven't had a spring break in so long.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
I try to avoid. I remember, like.
I also didn't do stuff with spring break, so it was just like a long weekend, basically, or something.
Well, and then occasionally, like, I'll go somewhere organically and just show up and be like, oh, fuck, it's spring break.
No.
And be, like, annoyed.
There's a billion people here for some reason.
When I was a kid, my family made the mistake of going on a carnival cruise on spring break. And I was like, why did you guys do this? A carnival cruise to, like, Mexico.
When I think of spring break now, I just think of, like, 2020. People are like, woo, we're invincible, fuck COVID. That guy died later that day. Like, just the follow-up news was all very bad.
Brought disease to the whole town.
There were 1 billion people on this beach. No one gives a fuck. Thousands died. It's like, no, please. Carl isn't exactly small or stealthy, so if he's around here, I should be able to see him. The more I drive, the more I start to notice how little maintenance the dirt roads receive out here. My tires kick up topsoil and gravel, and divots mar the space and jolt me in my seat. Unlike Flynn's truck or Leo's van, my little clunker isn't meant for these sorts of roads.
He just has like a little car, commuter car.
It's got that patchy like that patchy flat paint job, but that has like weird squares of gray. Just that kind of setup.
What the fuck kind of car are you talking about?
You just like the those really old clunkers that like sometimes certain panels are just different colors than the rest of the car.
Well,
and like those chunks.
That's not a clunk. That's a car that's gotten in an accident.
Yeah, but I just mean like you have an old car that just the paint job reflects how old it is and how like it's just like this. You got this for cheap, and this is what was left of it essentially.
I just think he's thinking more of like a, like a Nissan Altima or something, like an old one.
Yeah. Friends' white cars that had like brakes that would grind.
Yeah.
And way too much money put into a subwoofer to play dubstep, but then the subwoofer fucking rattles.
Well, what all the cool kids do is get one of those gigantic portable speakers with the wheels on it, and you just buckle it into your back seat. And it goes boom, 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 rattles the whole car.
You used to feel them drive by. It was actively irritating. I can practically feel my maintenance bill growing. As I approach the turn off to Jasmine Street, I pull over to the side of the road. I reach back into my shorts and take my wallet, placing it in the glove box and locking it just in case. Specifically in your car, so it doesn't get robbed, I guess. Stepping out of the vehicle, a cool sweat begins to form along my neck, and I have to remind myself that I'm 21. We're all adults. I can drink. I have a car. I live by myself. And Carl is in trouble. As I walk through the clearing of dry brush, I'm reminded of the last time I was here. I had a fight with my parents. I think it was over my grades or Leo or something. Eventually I had enough of being yelled at and took off for a generic teenage angst walk. My MP3 player was with me at the time, so I'd put my earbuds in and had the emo core cranked up. Hours passed, and it wasn't like I was even awake. And it was like I wasn't even awake, just meandering through the desert, bleary-eyed and directionless. I must have ended up on Jasmine because the abandoned school was nearby. I remember stopping to kick a rubber tire or something, and before I could, an arm appeared. It was furless, sort of pinkish and incredibly long. It just sort of showed up in the corner of my vision, stretching out in front of me like someone was trying to hug me from behind. The music on my MP3 player had stopped, and there was a complete absence of sound besides the ringing in my ears. For some reason I didn't understand. I didn't move. Maybe I was too scared. I did speak, but all I could say was, "Hey." Then someone hit me over the back of the head and called me a cocksucker. They tried to take my MP3 player too, but I was clutching it so tightly at that point they couldn't get me to release it. No matter how many times they hit me in the head. I ended up telling Leo about it later, and he basically forbade me from ever going near Jasmine Street again. He kept asking who did it. I told him I didn't know, but Leo thought I was just trying to keep them from harm. He went on a big speech about how, where he comes from, if somebody did this shit to a man's significant other, they'd be fucking dead. I was tired, and my head hurt, so I asked him how well that philosophy was working out for everyone in his home country. That just made him even angrier, and he kept going on about how he's supposed to be the protector of us all. Hell, he even name-dropped Sydney to help prove his point, someone he almost never brings up because it kills the good mood. I come to a stop at the edge of the clearing. The street sign in the corner at the base of the hill confirms my location. Jasmine Street. Also known as Tetanus Alley, if you ask Flynn. No wonder Jenna changed her name. I make a point to keep my tail from touching the ground, occasionally checking the path ahead for shattered glass. Looking through the shattered windows of abandoned manufactured homes and littered hilltops, I can't imagine Carl in a place like this. Approaching Jenna's old house, I take stock of how it's aged. Poorly. It's stucco, unlike most of the other trailers about, but it hasn't seen a good coat of paint in at least a decade.
I fucking hate stucco.
The lawn is overgrown with weeds, and old convenience store wrappers lay entangled within the grass. Even as little kids, we never played here. Jenna would always insist we go to Leo's or my house. Listening in and peering through the torn screen windows, I can see that no one is home. Moving in around the back, I hear some chatter behind the half-demolished home next door. Some familiar voices stand out instantly. I keep out of sight behind the debris. What is this fucking... This is a nightmare, what?
It's a shack.
Also, that looks like a grave.
It does look like a grave. No, it wasn't like that.
Heather says this in a babyish whine, practically a coo. There's a rasp to her speaking voice that I don't remember her having. Jeremy's back.
Do you want to do him? I don't know what he's saying.
You lit up with him all day at the shed. You're saying you didn't do that?
No. He was really, really sweet. I mean, he had an accent and everything.
What?
What kind of accent?
That voice I don't recognize. It's sort of gravelly but artificial, like someone trying to make their voice sound deeper than it is.
You know, the Hispanic ones? Is that still, PC to say? Because my cousin was telling me off fierce like for using that other word.
Latinx?
No.
Oh, the worst ones.
Well...
I was thinking of words that sane people would potentially try to say that they'd get told off for, which is that people do not like Latinx. That is very much a white people term.
Yeah.
But no, they mean much worse words.
No, they're talking about a slur, and I think I know which one they're talking about. Well, that's what you called Josh a Heather. But I meant it in a good way, like when I call you my night rat.
What
the fuck does that mean? You can call me whatever the fuck you want, Heather. Just don't be throwing that shit around when Jur is trying to sell.
Chill, dude. You still bought from me.
How much?
It's in the book.
He might not next time.
Dude.
Ever since you got back, you're so much more assertive.
The unknown voice doesn't respond. Jeremy speaks up again. So what happened with Juan?
We just talked, He wants to be a baker. He said next time we meet, he'll bring me some guava campechanas.
Those are those apple turnover looking things, right? God, I'm hungry.
Oh, that sounds so good, Jeremy. Why'd you have to bring up apple turnovers?
Well, sort of what campechanas are, right? You brought them up, Heather. Jeremy laughs in his trademark bassy and abrupt titter. He sands.
Are you gonna give Juan your cherry pie next time you see him too? What?
Huh?
I don't know how to cook. I don't even have a stove. Fuck me.
The voice groans.
It's slang for vagina. You know, a slice of cherry pie.
I wouldn't put my junk into a vagina that looked like a slice of cherry pie.
You're gross.
What? He said it.
You both are.
Heather says this with a snooty flair, though it's subverted by her voice's more dopey, childish undertone.
I need to get out of this town. You haven't even been back that long. Are you upset about the dreams again? Yeah, the dreams and shit are getting worse, but it's the other stuff too, okay?
No. Just having a moment where I'm like, is this... Can't be Brian, because Brian specifically has a high voice and also doesn't talk like this. It doesn't match his speaking patterns at all, but he was having dreams, specifically. You just need to relax, dude. Smoke some, you know? That's what works with me when I get them.
I'm trying not to use up the stuff I'm trying to sell. I gotta save up, you know? Everyone out here seems to be losing their shit, even more so than usual.
Yep.
Plus that fucking bear leering around here all the time.
Brian keeps pushing me to sell this cut, injectable stuff. Won't tell me what it is.
Uh-oh. Really?
There's a pause in the conversation.
Keith wants to say hi to his mom before work.
Keith's alive?
Keith is the good person I'm voicing.
Is that Keith?
That's fucking Keith. Keith!
What?
Keith wants to say hi to his mom before work.
Heather? What the fuck?
Keith wants to say hi to his mom before work. Uh-oh, she's tripping out.
What?
What's wrong with her?
Why are you saying that, Heather? An increasing sense of urgency takes hold in Jeremy's usually calm, lackadaisy tone.
Keith? You mean Keith from...
Heather begins to sob. Her crying is sputtering and wet. I can hear it from here.
Oh, God.
Heather. Dude, what's wrong? She continues bawling, her whining cry increasingly shrill and choked.
Oh my God.
Heather.
I can't deal with this right now.
Micah, give her a joint. Micah? What?
What? I'm not giving her any more of mine. She's probably pulling this shit just to get more.
Dude, now. I've got some of mine in the mini... storage out back. Just hurry, okay?
Fuck. Okay.
Hearing footsteps, my heart lurches. I move back around to the other side of the structure, praying that my clumsy otter self is actually stealthy for once in my life. I hate this when you build up to, like, addressing someone and then you sit for too long and now it's weird and now you're, like, afraid to do it or something. However, it isn't long before I see him around the same corner I just did.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, this is this campaign's character.
I feel like the art's different.
The art is different for a lot of the sprites. There's like a lot of different artists did the current sprites.
What, a lot of the current artists?
A lot of the current sprites are done by different artists.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Are we out of time?
Yeah.
We're out of time. All right, we'll meet Micah next time.
Sorry, guys.
He looks like that.
We'll see if I voice him the same.
This is our Raven or Kudzu of this playthrough. I've seen him before. He's a bat.
That's cool. He's a furry bat.
Look at how obnoxiously deep his armpits have to be in his shirt in order to make it wearable as a bat.
I feel like he's kind of who I was voicing.
We've got more emo hair. 2 out of 3.
Yeah. Kudzu with emo hair. I prefer not.
I'm gonna Photoshop this hair onto him.